Aloha and welcome to Java. Thank you kindly as always for joining me. This is for Friday. It's May 10th, 2024. As usual, we've got quite a bit to go over, so let's get into the markets. We've got our favored risk indicator, the MMRI, at 291, so this is retracing. Still in high risk area, and we'll be watching that, of course, fear greed back up to neutral with more buyers coming in by the dip mentality. So this risk level has dropped yesterday, the 10-year yield, as well as the relative strength of the dollar, both retraced. So that gave stocks room to rally. We've got stocks on the board green, as well as gold because of the promise of Fed rate cuts. We've got oil also rallying on the Middle East tension. So more about that a little later. So at the moment, we've got both boards in the green looking to open. So stocks enjoyed a bounce from Fed rate cut fever. Bad news is good news again because the jobs report was terrible. So the economy is still in for more pain. And basically, with that, they believe the Federal Reserve will cut sooner. So bulls are back. I think we are also in a selection cycle float. That doesn't hurt. They want to kick this can down the road past November if they can. However, do I believe this rally? Not for an instant. So, as it is now, you're going to trade what we have in front of us. First opening volume happens for the first hour or two, and then it will slow down as volume slows down. What I am looking for, just my opinion, not financial advice, is a slowdown and consolidation, and then possible sell-off toward the end of the day. We've got large geopolitical risk on the table over the weekend, so there could be a lot of profit taking prior to that. So with this, we've also got look at basically manipulation or management of currency as well as rates. They manage these for three main reasons. The first, as you hear about all the time in the news, controlling inflation. So whether it's effective or not, uh, you can have your own opinion, but that is the first reason. The second is that it can boost exports. If they have quite a bit that you've produced and you got some exports you need to drive out, you can manage your rates. The third is to manage your debt. So lowering the interest rate would also lower the interest due on the sovereign debt. So keep that in mind as we move forward. Calendar and earnings today. The earnings are all prior to the market open. So hopefully you set up for that. I wish you all green on that. We've got in the calendar just a couple of Fed presidents speaking for the most part. We're getting consumer sentiment as well as federal budget. So I've got Coinbase in here. Basically, as a bank, the reason being I think they will be the first external private entity acting as a bank for the digital currencies. So with this, we've got Coinbase seeing infinite interoperability potential with Ethereum and USDC, US dollar. So they are looking at becoming that main in between. How will that work with the CBDC? We'll see. We've also got BlockFi partners. Now they're going bankrupt, big in the news. So they're partnering with Coinbase for fund distribution on the back of that bankruptcy. So as they shut down their web platform, they're sending out instructions to all of their clients, customers, to set up accounts with Coinbase if they don't have one already. Very bullish for Coinbase, at least at the moment. So we've got US banks facing climate risk data challenges as Fed analysis shows. So this is back to the catastrophe bonds we've been speaking about, climate change, huge risk data for banks, at least in the United States. So the Fed polled the major banks, and the participants suggested the climate-related risks are highly uncertain, challenging to measure, and the ones that they polled were basically inclusive of Bank of America, Citibank, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and Wells Fargo. So banks address both potential losses from natural, quote unquote, natural risks such as hurricanes and other disasters, earthquakes, flooding, and also the impacts of changing policies. The experts are arguing that these risks could imperil trillions of dollars. We've been speaking about the insurance risk for a while. This is the first I've seen that they're really tying this back into direct bank risk. So with this, we've also got Mexico Central Bank keeping their rates at 11%. 11%, let that sink in. Their inflation is speeding up. They cannot cut. You have to choose whether you're going to sacrifice your economy or your currency. Watch this develop as a good example for what's coming forward. With the UK, now in the other story, we've got the fastest growth in 2 years they're reporting, taking them out of recession. Leave it in the comments if you think you're coming out of recession if you're there, please. We've also got UK stocks rallying on this surprise economic growth. Total surprise, didn't see it coming. Moving over to the yen, as we've been watching, the Japanese economy is expected to shrink first quarter due to weak consumption. This is because their inflation has just been messed with. So now the yen, which is their currency, is very fragile. And they're talking about a new currency war that could possibly be developing. Japan is the largest holder of US treasuries, which is the debt, as well as the basket of currencies in their foreign reserves. Moving forward to companies and jobs, I've got one story. I would like to ask your opinion on this. Social Security update could expand benefits to millions. So this includes Ukrainian asylum seekers, and it also includes undocumented workers. There are a few basically requirements for this. However, Social Security has now been dropped into the general fund, and workers that have been paying into this for as long as they've been working, because it is mandatory, there's no way around it, even if you are self employed. And they have just come out with saying that the fund could be depleted in about 10 years. So, promising this out to a larger group of people that have not been paying in. So, moving forward with Tesla slashing 3,400 jobs across North America. They are expanding in foreign countries, cutting in North America. So, this happened Wednesday. They pulled thousands of job positions from their official careers page. This is not from Indeed, and it's not speculation, came straight off their page. We've got contributing to this, Chinese competition is a defining challenge for EU companies. We're talking about Ursula von der Leyen asking them to slow down their production, as if that will help. So, Iraqi dinar, moving forward with another story, new rate of 390, currency re-evaluation. A few of you have asked about this. This is speculative. It's not happened yet. This was an opinion that came out, so not necessarily real. We've got to move forward to a couple of other things. We've got X launching AI curated audience for advertisers. Elon Musk using Grok basically to their advertisers, promising to basically search through all of the Twitter users through the tweets to optimize who they can advertise to. How do you feel about that? Leave that in the comments. Wanted to bring this up as well. Rare solar storm to hit. So today being Friday night as well as Saturday morning, saying it could wipe out the internet. This would be temporary. Severe solar storm to bring northern lights to the UK. So this is how strong this one is. We've got basically the pardon that interrupting. So we've got basically this disturbance coming towards us. It's a coronal mass ejection. It's huge. It's the largest in over 20 years. It could disrupt cell service, 5G. This also includes aviation, electronics. So if you are flying or traveling, could disrupt that as well. So I want to go into wars and trade wars a bit here. We've got Russia. According to Putin, Russia will try to prevent global conflict. This is a direct comment from him. We've got this other front page detectives. This is a story coming out. Test to the West. Putin is set to launch mini invasion against a neighboring country. They're floating out these stories. They're preparing this for the war. This is what I was talking about, the increased geopolitical risk. This is nothing more than somebody's opinion, but the wording, you have to pay attention to this. In this article that they put out that he's going to launch a mini invasion, says it's an alleged contemplation of a mini invasion of a NATO country aimed to test the resolve of Western leaders. So this guy bringing up a lot of garbage, basically. Putin has been in office way too long. He's much too savvy and very sophisticated leader. He would not be drawn into this. However, he has come out openly and said that if there are direct nuclear actions or functions against Russia, that he would not hesitate to retaliate. But that's far different from launching an invasion. So I'd like to bring this up because this story is complete garbage, and they're basically setting this up and fanning the flames so that America and the West basically will be, sorry about that, will be ready to jump into this war because we are looking at more boots on the ground. So we've got the European Union agreeing to tap Russian assets in order to arm Ukraine. So they're giving specific bloc members the ability to opt out of this in case they don't want to incur the wrath, basically, of Russia. However, we've got the Polish Prime Minister now saying that there are already NATO soldiers present in Ukraine. He admitted this in an interview to a 10-year-old. And this is just, I find it very disturbing. I'm very upset about this, if you can't tell. I'm just bringing out these stories and lying to the United States citizens and putting in a light to where he's going to invade and just building this fear and in the background for their own uh, goals, basically. So I'd like to go forward. My herbal for this is to grow dandelion. Many of you have been pulling these as weeds. So dandelions are not weeds. They are from the same family as sunflowers. Probably didn't know that. They've got a lot of vitamins, minerals. You can eat the flowers. They taste sweet like honey and have antioxidant properties. They help with the immune function. You can put them in salads or just snack on them. They're high in vitamins and minerals A, B, C, and K. They've got calcium, magnesium, potassium. They do help detox the liver and the kidneys. So they're also good for multiple reasons. Good for your liver, purifying the blood. You can make the roasted roots into a tea, and that's very beneficial. So every part of this plant is edible. Up until the 1800s, they were seen as extremely beneficial, and people would remove their grass to plant these. So now they're seen as a weed. Just be cautious that they're not sprayed with anything because many of them are, but they're prolific. They grow very easily and they can be found very easily. So with this, they also strengthen bones. They protect from age-related damage. So this is just wonderful little plant, besides the beautiful flowers and growing easily. So with that, I want to wish you all a wonderful day. Please leave a coffee emoji if you want to share some Java with you. Hit the like if you can. I appreciate everything everyone has done for this channel. And until I see you again, my friends, caution over the weekend, wishing you a good one. Watch all your electronics if you don't want them disrupted. You can stick your phones in the microwave if you need to. Till I see you again, stay free.